You wake up and for a moment, you think you've gone deaf. There's no sound, no movement, nothing but a strange, suffocating silence pressing in from every direction. You stay still, listening, waiting for even the smallest noise to prove the world still exists. But nothing comes. Not a voice, not a footstep, not even the distant hum of life beyond these walls. Your heart starts beating a little faster, and suddenly the silence feels wrong, unnatural, like something has been taken away. You sit up quickly, your body tense, your mind trying to catch up with what's happening. The surface beneath you is hard, cold enough to make your skin tighten, and it doesn't feel like any bed you've ever known. You look around, slowly at first, like you're afraid the room might change if you move too fast. Gray concrete walls surround you on every side, bare and lifeless, with no marks, no cracks, nothing to focus on. There's no window, no light from outside, no indication of time passing, just a dim, artificial glow that never shifts. Your eyes scan the room again, more carefully this time, searching for details, for context, for anything that makes sense. A small metal bed, a thin mattress that looks more like a formality than comfort. A toilet in the corner, exposed, unapologetic, and a door. Thick steel, solid, unmoving, with no handle on your side. You stare at it longer than anything else, because something about it feels final. That's when the realization begins to settle in. Not all at once, but slowly, like a weight pressing down on your chest. You're not here by accident. No one ends up in a place like this by mistake. You've been put here. Locked in, alone. The word forms in your mind before you can stop it. Solitary. You stand up, your movements cautious, like you're testing whether this place is real or some kind of dream. Your footsteps echo louder than they should, bouncing off the walls and coming back to you distorted, unfamiliar. Even the sound of your own breathing feels too sharp, too present, like the room is forcing you to hear everything. You walk toward the door, each step heavier than the last, until you're standing right in front of it. Up close, it feels even more solid, more permanent, like it was designed to never open unless someone else decides it should. You raise your hand and knock. The sound hits the metal and dies instantly, swallowed by the same silence that fills the room. You knock again, harder this time, waiting for something, anything to respond. But nothing happens. You spend the next hours learning the shape of your new world, and it's smaller than you initially realized. The walls are closer than they seemed in that first moment of waking, close enough to make your chest feel tight. You can stand in the middle and almost touch both sides if you stretch. The distance so short it feels like a joke. A joke with no punchline, just punchline after punchline of gray concrete. You walk the perimeter slowly, counting your steps, trying to turn this space into something measurable. 8 steps lengthwise. 6 steps across. That's it. That's the entire geography of your existence now. You walk it again, just to be sure, because maybe you miscounted the first time. 8 and 6. The numbers don't change. You press your palm against the wall, feeling the texture, running your fingers over the surface like you're searching for something. But there's nothing to find. No crack, no seam, no imperfection, just the endless, indifferent gray of poured concrete. You move to the next wall, and then the next, and then the next, repeating the same motion each time. Your fingers trace the same emptiness, the same nothing, over and over again. You sit back down on the bed and stare at the door, trying to remember how you got here. But there's nothing there either, just a blank space where the memory should be, like someone erased it. You try to push harder to force the memory to surface, but it only makes the blankness feel more complete. You close your eyes and try to think of something else, anything else, just to escape the weight of not knowing. But the not knowing follows you. It stays in the room with you, sitting in the corner, watching. You open your eyes and look at the light fixture above, a thick disc of glass and steel embedded in the ceiling. It hums quietly, a sound so low you barely notice it at first, but once you do, you can't stop hearing it. It's the only sound in the room besides your breathing, and it never changes pitch, never wavers, never stops. You wonder if it ever turns off. You wonder if darkness ever comes. You wonder if you'll ever see anything different from what you're seeing now. You stand up again because sitting still feels wrong, like you're giving up on something. You walk to the toilet, a steel bowl with no seat, no privacy, no dignity. You look at it for a long moment, then look away because looking at it makes this feel too real. You walk to the sink, a small steel basin with a single knob that doesn't turn unless someone outside decides it should. You try it anyway, twisting hard, feeling the metal bite into your palm. Nothing happens. Of course nothing happens. You step back and look at the room again, trying to see it the way someone else might see it. A box. A sound cuts through the silence. Not a voice, not a footstep, but something mechanical, something deliberate. It's the sound of a slot opening in the door, a small metal hatch sliding back with a scrape that feels impossibly loud. You turn your head so fast your neck protests, your eyes fixed on that small opening like it's a window to another world. Through the slot, you see nothing at first, just darkness, just emptiness, just more of the same nothing you've been staring at for hours. Then a tray appears, shoved through with a practiced efficiency that makes your stomach clench. It's a gray tray, the kind you've only ever seen in movies about places exactly like this one. On it, a small portion of something brown, a cup of water, a piece of bread that looks more like compressed sawdust. You stare at it for a moment, not because you're not hungry, but because the tray is the first thing that's changed since you woke up. Your hand reaches out before your mind catches up, grabbing the tray like it might disappear if you don't move fast enough. You pull it through, and the slot closes immediately, a final, definitive sound that feels like a door slamming somewhere inside you. You look at the food, trying to identify what it is, but there's nothing to compare it to. It's just food. Or something like food. You pick up the bread first, breaking off a small piece and putting it in your mouth. It's dry, tasteless, almost gritty, and you chew it slowly because you don't know when you'll get more. You drink the water next, small sips, trying to make it last, trying to make it mean something. The water is warm, slightly metallic, and you realize you've never been grateful for water before. You eat the rest of the brown substance without tasting it, because tasting it would require paying attention to it. You finish everything, even the crumbs, even the last drops of water, because you don't know when the next tray will come. You set the empty tray on the floor and stare at the slot, waiting for something else to happen. Nothing happens. The slot stays closed. The silence returns. You push the tray back through, sliding it across the concrete floor until it bumps against the door. You wait, listening, hoping to hear footsteps, a voice, anything that proves someone was actually there, but there's nothing. Just the hum of the light and the sound of your own breathing. You sit against the wall, your back pressed to the cold concrete, and you try to remember what normal feels like. Eating at a table, eating with someone. Eating because you wanted to, not because your body needed fuel to survive another day in this place. You can't remember. The memory is there. You've decided that it's day one, because you need somewhere to start, and this feels as good a place as any. You woke up, you ate, you slept. You woke up again, that's one cycle, and one cycle means one day. It doesn't matter if you're right. It matters that you have something to hold on to. You stand up and stretch, feeling your muscles protest after hours of lying still on the thin mattress. Your body is stiff, your joints ache, and there's a dull pressure behind your eyes that won't go away. You ignore it, because acknowledging it would mean admitting that this place is already affecting you. You start moving, deliberately, methodically, turning the small space into something like a gym. You do push-ups against the floor, counting each one in your head, forcing your arms to work even when they shake. You do sit-ups on the mat, feeling your stomach clench with each repetition, pushing past the discomfort. You do lunges across the length of the room, 8 steps one way, 8 steps back, over and over again. You do this until your body is tired, until your muscles burn, until you can't remember why you started. You sit down, breathless, and for a moment, you feel something almost like satisfaction. You've done something. You've controlled something. You've proven that you're still here, still capable, still yourself. You drink the water from the sink, which has started working now that someone outside has decided it should. It's still warm, still metallic, but it's water and you drink it like it's the first water you've ever had. You sit back on the bed and close your eyes, letting your heartbeat slow, letting your breath even out. You try to think of something pleasant, something from before, something that doesn't remind you of where you are. You think of a street you used to walk down, trees lining the sidewalk, the sound of leaves rustling in the wind. You think of a room you used to sit in, sunlight coming through the window, a book in your hands, no reason to move. You think of a voice you used to hear, someone who mattered to you, someone who made you feel less alone. The images are there, clear enough, real enough, and you hold on to them like lifelines. You build a routine in your mind, a structure that mimics the life you used to have. When you wake, you'll exercise. When you exercise, you'll drink water. When you drink water, you'll rest. When you rest, you'll remember. And then you'll do it all again. You open your eyes and look at the walls, and for a moment, They don't feel quite so close. You wake up and the first thing you notice is that you don't know if it's day 2 or day 3 or day 10. The cycle you built: wake, exercise, eat, rest has already started to blur. The edges soft, the markers unclear. You tell yourself it's day 2 because you need the number to be small, to feel like this is still temporary. But something in your chest tells you that you're lying to yourself. You sit up slowly, your body heavier than it was yesterday, your limbs sluggish like you're moving through water. The room looks the same: gray walls, gray floor, gray ceiling, the light still humming above you, but something feels different. The silence is heavier now, more present, like it's settled into the spaces between your thoughts. You try to stand, and for a moment your legs don't want to cooperate, like they've forgotten how to work. You push through it, forcing yourself upright, forcing your body to remember that it belongs to you. You start your exercises again, but today they feel different. Your arms shake on the first push-up. Your legs cramp on the third lunge. Your body is telling you something, and you don't want to hear it. You finish anyway, because stopping would mean admitting that something is wrong. You drink the water from the sink, and it tastes the same as yesterday: warm, metallic, barely enough. You sit on the bed and you try to remember the last time you ate, but you can't. You try to remember the last time you slept, but you can't. You try to remember the last time the tray came, but the meals have started to blend together into one long gray moment. You press your hands against your face, feeling the stubble on your jaw, the dryness of your lips, the hollows under your eyes. You haven't seen your reflection since you got here, but you know you're changing. You can feel it. You stand up again, restless, because sitting still feels like drowning. You walk the perimeter again: 8 steps, 6 steps, 8 steps, 6 steps, counting each one like it matters. You trace the walls with your fingers again, searching for something you missed, some crack, some seam, some flaw. You find nothing. There's nothing to find. You stop in the center of the room and you look up at the light, and for a moment you stare directly into it. It burns your eyes, leaves afterimages floating in your vision, and you don't look away. The pain is something. The pain is real. You let it wash over you, let it remind you that you can still feel, that you're still here. You sit down hard, the impact jarring your spine, and you close your eyes against the burning spots in your vision. You try to think of something outside, something that exists beyond these walls. You try to think of a tree, a building, a car, anything that isn't gray concrete. But the images are fading now. You wake up on the floor. You don't remember falling off the bed. You don't remember lying down at all. You're curled against the wall, your cheek pressed to the cold concrete, your body stiff and aching. You sit up slowly, and the room spins for a moment, tilting sideways before settling back into place. Your head hurts, a deep, throbbing pain that starts at the base of your skull and spreads forward. You press your hand against your forehead, and your skin feels hot, too hot, like something is burning from the inside. You try to remember the last time you ate, but the memory is gone, replaced by a hollow ache in your stomach. You try to remember the last time you drank water, but your mouth is dry, your tongue thick and heavy. You stand up, holding onto the wall for balance, and you walk to the sink. The water comes out in a thin stream, barely enough, and you cup your hands under it and drink greedily. It tastes like metal and something else, something stale, something old, something that shouldn't be there. You drink until your stomach cramps, then you stop, leaning against the wall, waiting for the nausea to pass. You look at the door, and for a moment, you think you see it move. You blink, and it's still. You look again, and it's still. You were imagining things. You were seeing things that aren't there. You sit back on the bed, but it feels wrong now, too soft, too unstable, like it might collapse under you. You move to the floor instead, sitting with your back against the wall, your knees pulled to your chest. You wrap your arms around yourself, trying to hold yourself together, trying to keep the pieces from falling apart. You start talking to yourself, because the silence has become unbearable, because you need to hear a voice. You say your name out loud over and over, trying to remind yourself that you exist. You say it until it sounds strange, until it sounds like a word you've never heard before. You say it until it means nothing. You stop, and the silence rushes back in, louder than before, pressing against your ears, your eyes, your skin. You press your hands over your ears, trying to block it out, but it's inside you now, part of you. You close your eyes, and the darkness behind your eyelids is the same as the darkness inside the room. Empty. Endless. You open your eyes and you look at the wall across from you, and for a moment, you see you've stopped trying to track the days because the days don't exist anymore. There's only now this moment, this room, this endless stretch of gray and silence. You're sitting in your corner, the one you've claimed as yours, the one that feels safer than the others. Your back is pressed against both walls, your knees pulled to your chest, your blanket wrapped around your shoulders. The face is still there, across from you, watching you with eyes that aren't really there. You've given it a name now, a name you can't quite remember, but you know it starts with a certain sound. You talk to it sometimes when the silence gets too heavy, when your thoughts start spinning out of control. Other times you just sit staring at it, letting it fill the space that nothing else will fill. The tray came at some point, you don't remember when, and you ate without tasting, drank without feeling. The food is always the same. The water is always the same. Everything is always the same. You've started to notice things about your body that you never noticed before. The way your bones press against your skin. The way your muscles have started to soften from disuse. The way your heart beats slower now, like it's conserving energy, like it's waiting for something. You've started to notice things about your mind, too. The way your thoughts loop, repeating the same words, the same images, the same fears. The way your memories have started to fade, the edges blurring, the colors draining away. The way you can't remember what your mother's voice sounded like. You try to hold on to the memories that are left, gripping them tightly, refusing to let them go. You replay them over and over, like a movie that's been worn thin from too many viewings. But the images are fading, the sounds are distorting, and you know, somewhere deep down, that they won't last. You close your eyes and you try to feel something, anything that isn't the gray emptiness of this room. You try to remember what it felt like to be touched, to be held, to be seen by someone who cared. You try to remember what it felt like to laugh, to cry, to feel anything that isn't this slow, creeping numbness. But the feelings are gone, replaced by something hollow, something empty, something that might be peace. Or might be the beginning of the end. You open your eyes and you look at the face, and for a moment, it looks back at you with something like recognition. You smile, and your face feels strange, like it's forgotten how to form the shape. You tell the face a week, or what feels like a week. You've stopped counting the cycles, stopped trying to measure time in anything other than the spaces between meals. But something inside you tells you that a week has passed, that you've been here long enough to feel yourself changing. You look at your hands, and they look different, now thinner, paler, the bones more visible beneath the skin. You touch your face, and it feels different, two sharper angles, hollow cheeks, eyes that don't focus the way they used to. You stand up, and your body moves slowly, like it's forgotten how to be quick, how to be efficient. You walk to the door, not because you expect it to open, but because it's something to do. You press your hand against the steel, feel the cold seep into your palm, and you wonder if anyone is on the other side. You wonder if they think about you. You wonder if they know what this is doing to you. You press your ear against the door, and for a moment you hear something. Footsteps. Distant, but there. Your heart jumps, your breath catches, and you wait, listening, hoping. The footsteps grow louder, closer, and you can feel your pulse in your throat, in your temples, in your hands. You want to shout, to pound on the door, to scream until someone hears you. But something holds you back. Fear, maybe, or pride. Or the realization that even if you scream, they might not come. The footsteps pass. They fade into the distance, swallowed by the same silence that fills your room. You slide down the door, your back against the steel, your knees pulled to your chest. You sit there for a long time, staring at the opposite wall, waiting for the footsteps to come back. They don't. You close your eyes and you try to remember what it feels like to be near someone, to share space with another human. You try to remember the weight of a hand on your shoulder, the warmth of a body beside you, the sound of someone breathing. But the memories are distant now, like stories you heard about someone else's life. You open your eyes and you look at the face in the wall, and you realize that it's the closest thing to company you have. You talk to it, telling it about the footsteps, about the hope that surged in your chest, about the disappointment that followed. You wake up and you don't know your name. You try to find it, reaching into the darkness of your mind, searching for something to hold on to, but there's nothing there, just emptiness. Just the gray. You sit up, and the room tilts, the walls shifting, the floor moving beneath you. You close your eyes, wait for it to stop, and when you open them again, everything is still. But you're still not sure who you are. You look at your hands, turning them over, studying the lines, the scars, the shape of your fingers. These are your hands. You know they're your hands, but they don't feel like yours. They feel like someone else's hands attached to someone else's body in someone else's life. You press them against your face, feeling the contours, the hollows, the sharp edges of your cheekbones. You try to build a picture in your mind to see the face that belongs to these hands. But the image won't come. It's there, somewhere, hidden behind the gray, behind the silence, behind the endless hum of the light. You stand up, unsteady, and you walk to the sink. You look at the steel basin, hoping to see your reflection, but there's nothing there. Just a dull, distorted surface that shows you nothing. You run your fingers over your face again, tracing your eyebrows, your nose, your lips. You try to remember what you looked like, but the memory is gone, replaced by a blank space where your face used to be. You lean against the wall, your forehead pressed to the concrete, and you try to hold on to something, a name, a place, a memory. But everything is slipping, fading, dissolving into the gray. You slide down the wall, sitting on the floor, your back against the cold concrete. You pull your knees to your chest, wrap your arms around them, and you try to make yourself small. Small enough to disappear, small enough to escape. But you can't escape, you can't disappear. You're here, in this room, in this body, in this life that doesn't feel like yours anymore. You look at the face across from you, and it's watching, waiting, patient. You speak to it, but your voice is strange, unfamiliar, like someone else is speaking through you. You ask it who you are. The face doesn't answer. You ask it where you are. The face doesn't answer. You ask it what's happening to you. The face doesn't answer. You close your eyes and you let the silence take you, because the silence is the only thing that makes sense. You drift, floating in the darkness, and for a moment, you're nowhere. You're nothing. You're free. But the moment passes and you're back in the room, in the gray, in the silence. You open something inside you breaks. You don't know when it happened, don't know what caused it, but you can feel it now, a crack running through the center of you. You're standing in the middle of the room, and you don't remember standing up. You're screaming, and you don't remember starting. Your fists are pounding against the door, the steel ringing with each impact, the sound echoing off the walls. You scream until your throat is raw, until your voice is gone, until there's nothing left but a hoarse whisper. Let me out. Please, let me out. You pound until your hands are bloody, the skin split open, the blood smearing across the gray steel. You don't feel it. You don't feel anything. You fall to your knees, your forehead pressed against the door, your breath coming in ragged gasps. You wait, listening, hoping for footsteps, for a voice, for anything that tells you someone heard. But there's nothing. Just silence, just the hum of the light. Just the sound of your own blood dripping onto the floor. You sit there for a long time, your hands in your lap, watching the blood pool in your palms. You don't know why you did it. You don't know what you were hoping for. You just know that you couldn't sit in the silence anymore, couldn't wait for something that never comes. You wrap your hands in the blanket, pressing the fabric against the wounds, watching it soak through. You lean back against the door, your head resting against the steel, your eyes closed. You let the exhaustion wash over you, let it pull you down into the darkness behind your eyes. And for a moment there's peace, no room, no walls, no light, just darkness, just silence, just you. You stay there, in that space between waking and sleeping, for as long as you can, but eventually you open your eyes and you're back. The room is the same, the walls are the same, the light is the same. You're the same, broken, empty, alone. You look at your hands, at the blood seeping through the blanket, and you wonder if you'll ever leave this place. You wonder if anyone will ever come. You wonder if anyone even knows you're here. You close your eyes again, and you try to remember something, anything, that connects you to the person you used to be. But the memories are gone. The feelings are gone. You're gone. There's only this room, this silence, this endless stretch of gray. You curl up on the floor, the blanket wrapped around you, your hands pressed against your chest. You let the tears come, slow and silent, running down your face, soaking into the concrete. You cry for the person you used to be. You cry for the life you used to have. You cry for the world you'll never see again. And when the tears stop, when there's nothing left, you lie there, staring at the ceiling. The light hums above you. The silence presses in around you, and a month. Or what you think is a month. Time has lost all meaning, become a concept that belongs to someone else's world. You exist now in a perpetual present. No past, no future, just this moment, this room, this endless gray. You've stopped eating, or you've started eating again. You can't remember. The tray comes, and sometimes you eat, and sometimes you don't. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. You're sitting in your corner, the one that's become your home within a home. Your back is against the wall, your legs stretched out in front of you, your hands resting in your lap. The face is still there, across from you, but you don't talk to it anymore. There's nothing left to say. You've said everything. You've told it every story, every memory, every thought that ever passed through your mind. Now there's just silence. You've stopped moving too. Your body is weak now, the muscles atrophied from days of stillness. You walk to the sink sometimes, to the toilet, but that's all. The exercises you used to do are a distant memory, something that belongs to someone else. You've started to lose track of your thoughts. They come and go, fragmentary, incomplete, like radio signals from a station that's going out of range. Sometimes you think you hear voices. Sometimes you think you see things, shapes in the corners, shadows that move, light that changes. You know it's not real. Or you think you know. It's hard to tell anymore. The line between real and not real has blurred, become something you can't quite grasp. You close your eyes and you're somewhere else. A field, a street, a room with windows. You open your eyes and you're here. Gray walls, gray floor, gray ceiling. You can't tell which is real anymore. Maybe neither. Maybe both. You've stopped trying to figure it out. You've stopped trying to do anything. You exist. That's all. You exist in this room, in this body, in this life that isn't a life anymore. You exist and you wait for the door to open, for the light to go out, for something to change, but nothing changes. The door stays closed. The light stays on. The silence stays silent. You close your eyes again and you let yourself drift. Let yourself float in the darkness behind your eyelids. You let go of the last threads that hold you to the person you used to be. You let go of your name. You let go of your face. You let go of your past. You let go of everything. And in the letting go, you find something like peace, not happiness, not hope, just the absence of struggle, just the quiet acceptance of what is. You open your eyes and you look at the walls, and they don't feel like a prison anymore. They feel like home. They feel like the only home you've ever known. You settle deeper into your corner, wrap the blanket around your shoulders, and you let the silence take you. You let it fill you, let it become you, let it erase the last traces of who you were. You are the room. The room is you. There is no difference. There is no escape. There is only this moment, this silence, this endless empty peace. A sound, a real sound, not the hum of the light, not the echo of your own thoughts. Something new, something that doesn't belong. You lift your head, your movements slow, your body protesting after so long in stillness. You listen, your heart beating faster than it has in days, weeks, months. The sound comes again, a key in a lock, a bolt sliding back. You've imagined this so many times that you don't believe it at first. You think it's another hallucination, another trick your mind is playing to keep you from going completely numb. But then the door moves. It shifts, just slightly, a crack of darkness appearing where there was only steel. Your breath catches in your throat. Your hands grip the blanket. The door opens. Light pours in, not the cold blue-white of the fixture above, but something different, something warmer. Something that hurts your eyes after so long in this artificial glow. You raise your hand to shield your face, and through your fingers, you see a shape, a person. Standing in the doorway, silhouetted against a corridor that seems impossibly wide, impossibly long. They say something, but the words don't reach you. They sound distant, underwater, like they're coming from another world. You try to stand, but your legs won't hold you. You've been sitting for too long, lying for too long, existing in stillness for too long. Your body doesn't remember how to move. The person steps forward, reaches down, takes your arm. Their hand is warm. You'd forgotten what warm felt like. They pull you up and you stand swaying, your weight leaning against them. They say something else, and this time you hear it. You're free. The words don't make sense at first. They're just sounds, just vibrations in the air. You repeat them in your head, trying to find the meaning. Free. You're free. You look past the person, into the corridor. Gray walls, gray floor, but wider, longer, stretching into a distance you'd forgotten existed. You take a step, and your legs shake. You take another, and the person guides you, their hand steady on your arm. You walk through the doorway, out of the room, into the corridor. And for a moment, you think you should feel something: joy, relief, gratitude. But there's nothing. Just the same emptiness that's been inside you for so long. You look back at the room. It's still there, the door open, the light still humming, the walls still gray. You expect to feel something: triumph, maybe, or disgust, or fear. But there's nothing. It's just a room, just a box. Just a place you used to be. You turn away and you walk down the corridor, your steps slow, your body weak. The person is talking to you, but you're not listening. You're looking at the walls, the ceiling, the floor. Everything is gray, everything is concrete, everything looks the same. You reach another door and it opens and you step through. And suddenly you're outside. The light hits you like a physical force, blinding, overwhelming, too much after so long in the dim. You raise your hand, but it doesn't help. The light is everywhere, in everything, burning away the gray you'd grown used to. You hear sounds, dozens of them, hundreds of them, sounds you'd forgotten existed. Voices, engines, wind, birds. They crash into you, one after another, too fast, too loud, too much. You stop walking, your hands pressed against your ears, your eyes squeezed shut. The person is saying something, but you can't hear them over the noise. You can't hear anything. You can't think. You can't breathe. You open your eyes, and you see the sky. Blue. Wide, infinite. It terrifies you. You've spent so long in a box, in a room with walls that held you, protected you, defined you. Now there's nothing above you, nothing around you. Just space, just emptiness. You take a step back, toward the door, toward the room, toward the only thing that feels safe. The person stops you, their hand on your arm, their voice in your ear. You're free. The words mean nothing. You look at the building behind you, the gray walls, the small door you just walked through. You look at the world in front of you, the light, the noise, the endless, terrifying openness. And you realize, in a way you hadn't before, that you left something in that room. Not your sanity, not your hope. Something deeper. Something you didn't know you had until it was gone. You made it out of the room. But the room never left you. The days after are a blur of white walls and soft voices and things you don't understand. They'd put you in a hospital, or something like a hospital, with beds that are soft and windows that let in light. You lie there, staring at the ceiling, waiting for something to feel different. But nothing changes. The silence is gone, replaced by a constant hum of machines and voices and footsteps in the hallway. You should be grateful. You should feel relieved. But the noise is too much, too sharp, too present, and you find yourself missing the quiet. They bring you food, real food, with colors and textures and tastes you'd forgotten existed. You look at it and you don't recognize it. You pick up a fork and your hand shakes, and you can't remember how to use it. You eat with your fingers, the way you did in the room, because that's the only way that makes sense. They talk to you, doctors and nurses and people who want to help. Do you know where you are? What's the last thing you remember? You try to answer, but the words don't come. You open your mouth and there's nothing there. You've spent so long talking to a face that wasn't real that you've forgotten how to talk to people who are. You nod instead, or shake your head, or stare at them until they go away. They look at you with something that might be pity. You don't know. You don't feel anything. You look out the window sometimes, at the sky, at the trees, at the cars moving on the street below. The world is still there. It never stopped, even when you thought it did. People are living their lives, walking their dogs, drinking their coffee, doing all the things people do. You watch them, and you feel nothing. Not jealousy. Not longing. Not even recognition. They belong to a world you used to be part of. You don't know if you belong there anymore. You look at your hands, and they're clean now. The wound's healed, the skin soft. They're your hands. You know they're your hands, but they don't feel like yours. You look in a mirror for the first time, and you don't recognize the face staring back. It's thinner than you remember, older, with hollow cheeks and dark circles under the eyes. You touch your reflection, and the glass is cold, and the person on the other side touches back. You stare at them for a long time, trying to find something familiar, something that connects you to the face in the mirror. But there's nothing, just a stranger, just someone who used to be you. You put the mirror down, and you lie back on the bed, and you close your eyes. The light is different here, softer, warmer, changing with the hours. It filters through the blinds, making patterns on the walls, on the ceiling, on your hands. You watch the patterns shift, and for a moment you feel something. Not happiness, not peace, just a flicker of something that might be recognition. The patterns are real, the light is real, you're real. You sit up and you look out the window again. The sun is setting, the sky turning orange and pink, the colors bleeding into one another. You haven't seen a sunset in longer than you can remember. You watch it and you try to feel something, but the feelings are buried deep, somewhere you can't reach. You watch the sun disappear behind the buildings, watch the streetlights flicker on, watch the world change from day to night. And you realize that you've changed too, not back into the person you were, into something new. Something that doesn't fit in the world you left behind. You lie back on the bed and you close your eyes and you listen to the sounds of the hospital, the hum of machines, the murmur of voices, the distant echo of footsteps in the hallway. They're different from the sounds in the room, softer, kinder, filled with something that might be life. But they're still too loud, still too much. You press your hands over your ears and for a moment you're back there, in the gray, in the silence, in the room. You open your eyes and the ceiling is white, not gray. The walls are white, the light is soft. You're not there anymore, but the room is still with you. It's in your hands, your face, your eyes. It's in the way you flinch at loud noises, the way you startle at sudden movements, the way you can't look at a blank wall without seeing the face. You made it out. You know you made it out, but some part of you stayed behind. Some part of you is still sitting in that corner, wrapped in a thin blanket, staring at a face that isn't there. You don't know if that part will ever come back. You don't know if you want it to. You close your eyes and you let the darkness take you, and for a moment, there's peace. Not the peace of the room, which was empty and endless and hollow, but something different. Something that might be the beginning of something else. You open your eyes and you look out the window, at the lights of the city, at the world you used to know. You don't know if you'll ever feel like you belong there again. You don't know if you'll ever feel anything again, but you're here, you're alive, you're out. And for now, that has to be enough. They tell you that you were in there for 47 days. 47 days in a concrete box, in silence, in isolation, in the slow unraveling of everything you were. You don't remember all of it. Some parts are gone, erased, replaced by gray fog, and the hum of a light that never turned off. Other parts are too clear, too sharp, replaying in your mind when you close your eyes. The face, the footsteps, the moment you forgot your name. They tell you that you're recovering, that your body is healing, that your mind will heal too, given time. You nod because that's what they want to hear, but you know something they don't. You know that some things don't heal. Some things leave marks that never fade, cracks that never seal, hollows that nothing can fill. You go outside sometimes when they encourage you, when the sun is warm and the sky is clear. You walk on grass and the feeling is strange under your feet, soft and uneven and alive. You stand in the sunlight and it's warm on your face, and you close your eyes and you try to remember what it felt like before. But the memory is gone. There is only now. Now in the room. You sit on a bench and you watch people pass, and they look at you sometimes and you look away. You don't know how to be around them anymore. You don't know how to talk, how to laugh, how to be the person you were before. That person is gone. Left behind in the gray, in the silence, in the walls that held you for 47 days. You eat when they tell you to eat. You sleep when they tell you to sleep. You answer questions when they ask, but you're not there. You're somewhere else, somewhere between the world you left and the world you came back to. You're in the space between, the space where nothing is real and everything is gray. You close your eyes and you see the walls. You open them and the walls are still there. They're always there. Behind your eyes, behind your thoughts, behind the face you see in the mirror. You don't know if they'll ever go away. You don't know if you want them to? Because without the walls, what's left? Without the room, who are you? You look at the sky and it's blue and it's wide and it's terrifying. You look at the people and they're moving and they're talking and they're living lives you don't understand anymore. You look at your hands and they're yours and they're not yours and you don't know the difference. You sit on the bench and you wait for what you don't know, for the walls to come back, for the silence to return, for something to fill the emptiness that's been inside you since the door closed, but nothing comes. The sun sets. The sky turns orange and pink. The streetlights flicker on. And you're still here, in the world, in the light, in the noise. You stand up, and you walk back inside. back to the white walls and the soft beds and the voices that ask too many questions. You lie down, and you close your eyes and you listen. For the hum, for the silence, for the face to speak. But there's nothing. Just the sound of your own breathing. Just the beating of your heart. Just you. You made it out of the room. But the room never left you.